other opportunities too. I mean, if you don't want to go for a minor, you may go for an honor, you may not even go for any of them. Then the additional learning courses, electives, what are the types of electives, academic standings and all. So when you will do your registrations in the next semester, before that we wanted you all to have all this information so that you can make an informed decision for yourself, right? You should know about all the minors and all the courses involved in that minors so that you can choose amongst it. So the session will be conducted by Vishnu Nair, who was ISA Square in 2013-14 batch, and he will explain to you all the details. One more thing, we will float a soft copy of this course information booklet to you through Student Support Services page. FB Media too, I mean, we'll put up in the hostel group also, and we will put up a GPO mail too, right? So go through it, have it with you handy, so that at the time of registrations you can look it up and decide for what you want, what courses you want to register for. Okay? I will hand it over to Vishnu to explain about the session.
So am I audible now? Yes? No answer? Anything? Yeah? Fine? Yeah. So basically this session is to give you more information about the academic flexibility that IIT Bombay provides you. Okay? That is the extent of courses that you can undertake, and depending on your wish. So basically you are all here with the name of a degree and what discipline you would be doing. Okay? So apart from that, through your stay here you are bound to develop various interests. Okay, apart from what you learn in your own subject, it generally happens, you generally move out of your own core interests and basically do something else in life than what you do. Okay? So how important is it to do these courses depends on why. How important these courses are is what we are going to discuss today, and how it is going to benefit you basically. So the main reason to do these courses are to get a blend of other disciplines in your undergraduate degree. So basically if you look at your undergraduate degree abroad, you basically focus mostly on one discipline, one specific discipline, right? So suppose you are doing your BTech in say electrical engineering, you will focus only on electrical engineering. But what India does is to see that we can give you a better picture of things which are related to your discipline, and so that you can have a blended undergraduate degree and more flexibility considering how the research or how technology is moving ahead in the world. So there used to be a time when you had very little to learn. Probably you would have always thought about the thing that Newton had very less physics to learn because the rest was created by him. Just like that, considering the present world and the technology and the science, you always need to cut boundaries and learn more about other disciplines as well. Okay, so these minors are basically to help you get a blended single degree with more knowledge and more exposure at the same time. Okay, and we all have a faith-based undergraduate education here, right? How many of you actually took a branch which you actually liked or you knew about? Or how many of you have blindly followed opening, closing ranks and filled in the option, got into IIT and just came in here for the degree, So there are two factors to it. Basically, one is the household dilemma where parents face. If the neighbor son is going for JEE coaching, let my son go, let him get into IIT. So things start at the household level and boil down till here. So we need to somehow help you guys out of the fact that you guys may be here by choice or may not be here by choice. So we like to see that you get a better way of learning what you like and pursue your own passion. Okay. So these courses would actually pave way for your future and what you actually want to do. Okay. And since This is your first year here and you have 4 or 5 years to go ahead at IIT Bombay. Okay, so slowly you are getting detached from being a dependent person to an independent person. You have to take decisions on your own, you have to think for yourself, and you have to make a goal plan for your future. Okay, so that's based on what exposure you get during your stay in IIT Bombay. So it's time that you be an independent thinker here, and it's time that you question to yourself as to why you are here and what you are here for. Have you ever thought about it? Anybody? Why you are here, or what you are gonna do here for your 4 years, or is it just that you came along with your parents holding their hand, got admitted, got out of the hostel 15 or 16 and just staying here? Yeah. So it's time that you start thinking. So fresh year it's just the incubation of small engineering. Okay, fresh year is just an incubation. So post your fresh year, you're supposed to start thinking with a broader perspective as to what you're going to do with your time here. You are spending time here, you are doing a couple of courses. Why, for whom, for what, is yet to be answered by yourself. So this time that you start introspecting for yourself to decide on what you're going to do here. So you have to be a passionate thinker, and what should matter to you will be your happiness quotient at the end of the day. Do whatever you like, do whatever gives you happiness. Do not look at the monetary aspects, let me tell you. Within a few years, even if you do whatever you like or whatever gives you happiness, let me tell you, within a few years, you will be setting the salary of those people who come under you. Let me tell you that. So whatever you're going to do is just based on your happiness and what you are passionate about in your life. Okay? Yep. Yeah. So it's time that you start writing your fate. Okay? It's time that you start writing your fate and make use of whatever you are learning here for your life. There are many aspects and many experiences you would get by doing a course, with your stay here, with your interaction with people, with your interaction with professors, with your interaction with your roomie and all of them. So many aspects which you will imbibe in yourself by the time you leave with your undergraduate degree. You will be holding your Uttariyas and leaving off with this degree, but you should take away the basic fundamentals and be a well-casted person in your life at the end of the day. So we believe that we can help you all, and I think that's why Student Support Services was started, and this booklet was started to give you how to make a better decision as to why you should go for a certain course. So you decide upon your interest and passion. If you are writing your fate, you can write which courses you can take, definitely. Okay, I believe that you can write your fate always as to what you're going to do in your future. Okay? Yep. So now we will move on to how you should choose the right course and the right way around. Okay? So now we'll just discuss a few, you can call it identity concepts or front day of courses, like academic standing. So academic standing is basically, I don't appreciate this idea much, but it's a way of differentiating people with respect to the CPI. Okay? So if you have an A+ CPI with no backlogs, then you are put in academic standing 1. Okay, which is considered the best by the institute. Okay? The institute considered A+ as really good, and you are put in an academic standing 1. Below that, with no backlogs, it's academic standing 2. And when you start accumulating backlogs, it goes to 3, 4 and 5 progressively. Okay, so it just goes down to progressively 3, 4, 5. But there have been cases where ASC groups up and puts a false backlog to their name, but just get it removed from the academic office. Face anything of that sort. Okay. Cool. So that's one thing. And we want tagging of courses. Okay. So every course that you do in IIT Bombay has got a tag attached to it. Okay. It could be something which you do for your degree or out of the requirement for your degree. Okay. Based on that, we classify courses and they are tagged accordingly. And every tag would mean that it's counted for your CPI or counted for your degree or not counted for your degree. That's what a tag would tell you basically. So for the various categories of courses, you have a specific tag attached to it. Okay. So in tagging, basically what we do is we will differentiate these various categories of courses. That is a core course, an honor course. There are various kinds of electives you will come across. Okay. Various kinds of electives you will come across, and the minor courses. Okay. So core courses are those which you have to do to get your degree. Okay. They are mandatory to be done so that you get your degree, and they count for your core CPI. Okay. CPI even has got different kinds of this. Okay. So we have a core CPI, you have a minor CPI, you have an honor CPI separately, and you have an additional learning course CPI, and you have the overall CPI separately, okay, printed on your final transcript which you get with your degree, okay. So core courses are those which you have to do to get your basic degree. You have to do the core course for a degree. The rest are actually optional in one sense, okay. But if you look at honors, dual degree students have to do honors by default. It is mandatory for them to do the honors course, okay. And honors is basically about specializing in your own department, okay. Honors is about specializing in your own department to take more courses in your own department of higher level, of research oriented or of research level courses. Those compose the honor courses. So to get an honor degree along with your bachelor's, you need to complete at least 30 credits, okay. You need to complete 30 credits, and this 30 credits would involve 5 courses of 6 credits or a different structure. So the structure for an honor course is generally 5 courses of 6 credits in most departments, but there are deviations in many departments where there would be a project. Okay, there would be a project in the honors curriculum, or you can just refer to the curriculum given by department. It should be there in the department website, or it would be put up on the Academy Council's website also. So that is also one thing that is done. So that's about honors. So to get an honors, you need to complete 30 credits. Okay, and you can do it in any way. There is no specific pattern in which you have to do the courses. You can choose the courses in any way and finish it off just before you leave. Okay, you see. If you want to do it in 4 years, you are free to choose courses in any semester. The list of courses which can be tagged as honors would be floated by your department. So just be in touch with your department office. So your department office is responsible for telling you which are the honor courses. Okay, so you should be familiar with that. And moving on to electives. Okay, so electives are, as the name says, electives. Okay, so if you want, so these are again optional courses, but some of them are compulsory to be done, because some of the curriculums demand that you choose an elective for compulsory for the requirement of your degree, and those fall under these 3. Okay, HSS, Institute, Department, Engineering, and Open electives. Okay, so an HSS elective is a compulsory elective which you will do in your 3rd year. Okay, you will do it in your 3rd year, but I think chemical engineering students do it in 2nd year. Okay, and this HSS elective has to be chosen from a basket of 4 courses. Okay. Psychology, philosophy, sociology, and literature. So you have to choose one among these 4 basically. Okay, it's being added. Okay. So there is going to be a 5th course to be added by the Senate, so you can look out to what it is. Are you familiar with the name or content? Okay, so it's not been decided. So I think they float a 5th course also this year. Let's look forward to what it is. Okay, and an institute elective. Okay. So an institute elective is an elective out of your own department. So basically you are supposed to choose a course out of your department, but it cannot be a 1-level course. Okay, it cannot be a 1-level course. Being an elect, you cannot take the DIC of Meta. It's like that, okay? Or you cannot, being in CS, you can't take the DIC of chemistry or physics. So that is the rule. You cannot choose a 1-level course as an institute elective, okay? 1-level course are general department introductory courses, so you can't do a department introductory course towards an institute elective. You can start doing 2-level courses for the same, and this can be done any time during your stay here. So for your BTech degree, your department will prescribe a specific number of institute electives to be completed for your degree requirement. Okay, and these electives are made compulsory for a degree requirement, so these would count in your CPI. Okay, these would count in your core CPI, whereas an honors would not be counted in your core CPI. Okay, so you can see that the institute electives will be counted. Similarly, department electives are the ones which you have to take in your own department. Okay, you have to do it in your own department, but there are some exceptions where you can do interdisciplinary courses from other departments which have topics which have overlap with your own discipline. Okay, that is allowed in some of the departments, but this has to be approved by the department HOD in such cases. Okay, if you are taking a course out of your department and if you want to make it your department elective, you need the permission of your department HOD. So you should be remembering that you need to meet the HOD and take his signatures. Okay, for the same. Okay, engineering and open. So these are quite rarely found categories of electives and found in certain departments. Okay, an engineering elective is for engineering physics students. Okay, So this is there for them so that they take an engineering course of an engineering department. So they are not supposed to take a science course as an engineering elective in that case. They are supposed to take it from some engineering department, that's all. And an open elective is open. An open elective can be HSS, institute, department or engineering. And that is done by electrical department. Electrical department has got open electives. So the onus is on the student and he has wished to choose what he wants to do. Okay? So that's a brief description of what electives. Okay? So an open elective is open. It's basically that you choose whatever you want to do. Okay? Okay? Cool? You have any queries you would like to raise? Please feel free. Yeah. And moving on to the minors. Okay. So a minor degree is basically again awarded when you complete 30 credits of a specific set of courses. Okay. A minor requires a specific set of courses to be completed. Okay. You need to complete a specific list of courses prescribed by the department in which you want to take a minor degree. Okay. And you need to complete 30 credits for the same. 6 into 5. But the exception is mathematics department where you have all 8 credit courses. Okay, you have 8 credit courses in mathematics department, so you just need to do 4 courses for a mathematics minor. But doing one course less doesn't mean that it's going to be easy doing a mathematics minor. It's very rigorous, and those are master's level courses or 4 level courses for a mathematics minor and statistics minor. When a statistics minor needs only 4 courses to be completed, okay, for the degree requirement. Okay, and rules for BTechs and dual degree students are different for taking a minor. So basically, for taking a minor, you need to pre-register. Okay, there's a pre-registration process. So before your next semester starts, at least say before 1 or 2 weeks, the academic office would float a form. Okay, they will float the form on the AAC website. Okay. You have the AAC external link, right? www.iitb.ac.in/AAC. So that is the external AAC link. On this external AAC link or on the internal link, you can basically provide choices for the courses which are floated. So they float a set of courses which are being offered as minors, and you have to put your preferences. You can put preferences for all the courses, 1 to how many. So around 50 courses would be floated. You can put preferences for all of them. Okay. So you have to do the pre-registration, and based on your CPI, the allocation is carried out. Okay, based on your CPI, you will be allocated the minor according to the allocation process, and that will be done in the academic office. And you can see your allocated minor when you register for the semester. Okay, so on the registration interface, it will show that you have been pre-registered for this minor, and it will appear on that registration interface, and you can register. Okay, so for minors, you will have to do a pre-registration. For HSS electives, again, for HSS electives also you will have to carry out a pre-registration program. Okay, it will also be floated in a similar way as the minors. Okay, 1 or 2 weeks before the start of the semester, it will be floated. Okay, and I think chemical engineering students would do it the next semester. So please keep in mind that you will have to do the pre-registration, or just get in touch with your department authorities to ask whether your curriculum is changed or not changed. Okay. And regarding the rules for BTechs and DDs, dual degree students can take a minor only if they have a CPI above 8. If you are a dual degree student with a CPI above 8, even if it's 7.99, you can't register for it. The AC will formally come register for it. So that is the rules, but we don't know whether the rule will change in the future. That depends on you guys again. So only the council can put forward or pressurize, because even I frankly feel that the rule is not justified on this ordinance. So dual degree students need a CPI of 8, BTech students with no backlogs are free to take. So BTech students are free to take up the courses if they have no backlogs. Okay, with whatever CPI you have. Okay, so basically, so dual degree students they have to do the honors by rule, or by mandatory for the dual degree students to do the honors. So with your 4 courses, you already have an extra course in your semester. Okay, because you are doing the honors course by default, DD students have an extra course. in their curriculum. So it's because that is forbidden from taking one more extra course, because they don't have an 8+ CPI. The institute has less belief on the students as whether they will be able to finish it. So it's a lack of belief at the end of the day. So this is a set of minor rules, and I'll just go to the minor booklet and we'll see as to what are the different minor courses that is available to us. Okay. Okay, so this is the. It's not. Okay, meanwhile I can, by the time the technical issues are fixed, I can take a few questions if you have. Yep. No questions? Yeah. Which question? Okay, cool. So this is the courses information booklet that the Academy Council is launching this year. So this is a 2015, this is being launched by the 15-16 Council, that is the third Council of Student Support Services, headed by Kenya. And this is a brief set of contents, so we are explaining almost all the aspects which I have just spoken to you guys. You can just read them through. So we have the categories of courses, why the minor, select the minor, okay, how you should go about selecting a minor. Yes, I'll be talking about that again. And these are the set of minor courses that we have, okay, across the departments, and I think we have an entrepreneurship minor as well. Yes, for the next page. It's happening. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just briefly talk about each of the minors. Okay. Yep. Done? Yeah. So I'll just talk briefly about each of the minors. So aerospace engineering department has got a minor which will teach you the basic, starting with the basic part of flight mechanics, okay, and to fluid mechanics and solid mechanics, and they want to space the course. The minor program ends on a high note with teaching you space flight mechanics and astronautics at the end of the day. Okay, so this minor basically has got a few core courses which would overlap with your own degree, because the minor program in aerospace engineering has got a couple of courses like on solid mechanics or fluid mechanics, which would actually be done by the mechanical engineering students and the civil engineering students, and I think energy. So there will be a cross overlap in their own core courses. So what the aerospace department has done is to see that they will make available a better set of courses. So there is a elective option again in the minors, or you can choose a set of minor courses from the list that they are given. I'll just show you the list. Okay. Yeah, disclaimer, it's there everywhere. Yeah, so we have just discussed all these things. You can just read or if you don't remember, whatever I just said. Yeah. Yeah. So in an aerospace engineering minor, you have one compulsory course, that is A152, that is Introduction to Aerospace Engineering. Okay, this is the compulsory course, and these are the options. You just need to. So this is a 6-credit course, and after the 6 credits, you need to choose the rest of. To complete the 30 credits, you can choose from these, because you have fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, and solid mechanics. These 3 courses are common in the core curriculum of mechanical engineering and civil engineering. So you need not repeat the same. You can choose courses from the remaining basket. Okay, you have a basket of courses being given. Okay. So similarly, so you can just go to the contents given on this booklet. So the next minor that is available is the bioscience and bioengineering minor. I don't know how far you would appreciate the BB101 course, but let me tell you, beyond the BB101 course, the bio minor is a really good one. And we have seen students even from mechanical engineering department getting interested in doing biosciences, And you can take totally uncorrelated minor, but it's based on an interest. So I'll just give a brief bioscience. So most of the minor is based on a molecular level of biology. Okay? It's more of molecular biology that is being taught. Okay. and it will have a physical side to it, a chemical side to it, a reaction aspect to it, and it boils down to genetic engineering. Okay, this minor program has a very good variation over the system, and it also has good amount of biomedical engineering. It will teach you how to make sensors, how to make biomedical systems, which can be used for diagnosis of diseases and in healthcare applications mainly. So that is the broad spectrum of the biosciences minor that we have. It has got the cell level biology, it has got the application in healthcare, and it has got its side towards chemistry and physics also, the physical part of it. Okay. That's what the bioscience engineering is about. I'll not discuss all the course contents. You can go through the booklet and it's available. The civil engineering minor again is basically to give an idea about various aspects of civil engineering, how to make structures, stable structures. Okay. And it starts with the basic course of the department introductory course, that is the engineering mechanics course. And I'll just speak about the various variations, which it again has got a close overlap with mechanical and energy. Because we do a couple of common courses on solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. Okay. And you can go through the basic description of the courses. So the main aim of this minor is to see that you are given a small preparation for an R&D level of knowledge in this field. In R&D level of knowledge, which will involve designing of structures, stable structures, the earthquake resistant structures, and such things. That boils down to the application side of the civil engineering side. Okay. Yeah, moving on to CSI. I'm just covering the minors which are actually running. The chemistry and chemical engineering minors do not run anymore because nobody takes it. Okay, so we move on to resources engineering. Okay, so resources engineering is a very interdisciplinary program. Okay, resource engineering is a totally interdisciplinary program. It involves a lot of signal processing, and it's mainly useful for people who want to work in the field of geosciences, okay, because it involves how satellite coordination from Earth to ground, from ground to space happens, how you can control them and how you can make use of them, and how a satellite signal can be sent down to Earth, how it is processed, and so on. So it's a very interesting minor in the sense of the application that it is used. Okay, it can be used for predicting drought, floods, and because of the ability of using the satellite-based information. Okay, so that's a basic description of CSI minor. It's an interdisciplinary minor. It has got some part of signal processing which electrical engineering students do, but not on a complicated level like they do it. Okay, so basically it's about developing geo-information systems. Okay, that's what this minor is more about. Okay, so if you're interested in seeing how you can use satellite-based information to identify systems or planetary systems, okay, they even have a course on astrochemical identification of planetary composition. Okay, so they run a course as to how you can use satellite-based data to predict what a planet is composed of, what the composition of the planet is, and such interesting courses. Okay, so this is more about processing of information and how you deal with satellite-based information and how you can put to real-life practice. Okay. Yes. Now we will move on to computer science and engineering minor, which is the most demanded minor where there is a cutthroat, heavy fight to get the seats. We see people coming and trying and saying, "Oh, we can get the seat," and But generally, some of the professors are kind enough to extend the number of seats to 80. And you are always free to approach the academic council and pay them to get the number of seats extended. So they are there for you guys for that. Okay. So there is a very high demand to computer science and engineering because, as you know, with the advent of computers, you have its application in every field, be it even in chemistry or physics or pure sciences. You have a lot of computer-based applications. Okay. So it basically deals with the mathematical structure side of computer science, okay, or the discrete mathematics that is, involved in computer science and engineering. That is the main. That is how the course starts off. Okay. So the basic course is, I think, data structures and algorithms and how you analyze algorithms. Algorithm development itself is a billion-dollar problem in many industries. So that is the application of these courses, or benefits of doing these courses. Algorithm development is the most demanded thing currently in India because of the IT advent currently. Okay, and this will actually, looking at the placement perspective. Okay, if you look at the placement perspective, this has got a lot of advantage because the placement sector is dominated by two people. One is the IT and other is the consult, finance and the non-core part of it. Okay, so they generally conduct placement tests on the coding skills of students and generally pickups of students. So, okay, I don't know whether you'll be able to make a Facebook with this minor, but you generally have a good chance in this field if you have. Or you can just put the use of the same in your own disciplines. Okay. For example, if you are working on, say, computational fluid mechanics. So computational fluid mechanics is a field which is of utmost interest in, say, mechanical engineering and, say, aerospace engineering. So if you need to do a computational fluid dynamics, you need to write a specific algorithm to do the computations. Okay. Same is the case with computational physics, or you work on something like cosmology or gravity. You need to do a lot of calculations. You need to solve the Schrodinger equations on a large scale. So you need the help of computers. So using computers to mathematically model systems is what the application leads to with this minor. And you have a logic development. Okay? The logic behind the computer science, basically the Boolean algebra side of the course is being taught here. And again, database and information systems, something that is of utmost interest currently. Information systems, information security, and networks. Computer networks is another hot topic of research where you need to optimize your networks here. If you look at your LAN here, and if you look at the LAN somewhere else, you would see that compared to normal college, you will have a better stability here. Okay, so you will see that when you develop a network, you need to look into the various aspects and optimize the parameters needed to set the system state. Especially when you are catering to so many students here, there is tremendous download, and there is DC++ and many things, Cool. So that computer and network security again is of utmost importance. You need to keep things on the World Wide Web safe from your aspect, right? Yep. And electrical engineering is another quite useful minor. It is useful to a very wide spectrum of research or interests. Okay. Electrical engineering starts off with basic. It's not the basic electricity and magnetism or something that goes to an application side of the subject basically. So you have courses on signals and systems, that is the signal processing. Basically this is a mathematical course which will tell you the mathematical side of doing signal processing, how you process signals from different sources, how you convert a natural signal to a signal that can be understood by a computer, which is a digital signal, and all those aspects. And the same continues with digital electronics, where you see how you can make digital systems, analyze them, and this course mainly deals with Boolean algebra in the initial parts of it, and later on you move on to the higher aspects of digital electronics, how you can make different digital systems which have a specific purpose of processing your signal, okay? And the same thing. And digital electronics will actually give you a good idea of how you can build microprocessors or how microprocessors work. Or it is something that has a close overlap with computer science. Okay, and then analog electronics. Okay, so there were two courses. There was only one course for analog. I just got approved one to the last 2 years. So we have two courses currently. You can do any one of them. Okay, you can do any one of them for your minors. So analog will basically have the breadboard circuit designing will be properly taught to you. So how you can use various electronic components like the diodes, the transistors to build circuits which can do a specific function to you. Okay. And again devices. Again how you make them. How you make the devices or you fabricate those devices basically. Okay, I will not go to the higher order perspective because this again boils down to more of a physics side of the devices. Okay. It's probability and random process again. So probability theory is and random processes is something that is again widely used across disciplines. So probability and random process are used to model supply chains, supply chain management and financial models. Basically stochastics, those are called stochastic models. Okay? So stochastic models are used to model many things or in many aspects of different subjects. It can be used in finance, it can be used in subjects, pure sciences, it can be used in pure engineering. So it has got this course is a broad spectrum course, and this would be really useful if you are going for internships in say companies which involve financial management or on the non-core side, okay, or supply chain. So this course is generally taken by students who are not even doing the minor courses just to get the good exposure because it's such a useful course at the end of the day. Okay. And continuous communication again deals with communication systems. Okay, how the basic part of communication system. So this basically has a prerequisite that you should do the signals course before you do this. Okay, signals and systems course before you do this. And energy engineering deals with how you can do energy management. Energy management is a hot topic in many of the non-core sectors where you have coal and oil and gas research. Okay, so if you are interested in, there are many companies which come from the side of coal, oil and gas, just like ONGC and SABIC. So these companies generally look for energy management perspectives. How you can efficiently manage energy, how you can process out in an efficient way. So you have the different energy management aspects. Energy economics, yes. If you like the economics course which you do next semester, probably you can try a hand on energy economics. Okay, there are only 3 core courses. So to get a degree in energy engineering, you need to do 3 compulsory courses and the rest of the 2 are electives. So the list of electives is put up here, you can just refer to them. Again, entrepreneurship is a really new minor course that was started with the SI's City Center for Entrepreneurship. Okay, so this will basically introduce you to the idea of entrepreneurship and basically give you the skill set. And some of these courses are carried out in collaboration with a new lab that they have started, that is the Ignition Lab. Okay, so I think they have put up the Ignition Lab. So the Ignition Lab is to help you guys to convert your ideas into proper prototypes. Okay, so if you have a startup model which you can convert to a successful company at the end of the day, and if it has got some potential, then you can get it funded, or you have people in the Ignition Lab to support you to make it to a startup. Okay, and I think most of the courses in the entrepreneurship minor involve the use of Ignition Lab, so that you get a real life exposure to entrepreneurship on a better scale. And then environmental science and engineering is generally again well demanded because it's quite useful. If you are a civil engineer, then one part of civil engineering is now growing on the side of environmental science currently. Okay, because civil engineers have started working on green buildings, green energy, and one such side of civil engineering is slowly growing up. So this would be a good choice for civil engineers to take in, and there are a wide spectrum of courses. I think these are all very elementary level courses which you can understand simply on reading even. Okay, environmental chemistry, waste and wastewater management. All of you have at least have basic background of what environmental engineering is in your school. So just not discuss the course contents. You can just go through them. Yes, humanities and social sciences. Okay. Again, humanities and social sciences have a very huge basket of minor courses, and you can do any 5 among them, basically, any 5. But the basket has got such a huge variety that it starts off with psychology, it has got courses from philosophy, it has got courses from sociology, and it has got courses from economics. It has got courses from economics at the end of the day. And there are really wonderful courses in this, like the managerial economics, which has a good fight at the end of the day to even get a seat, and there is an economic course, quantitative methods for economic analysis. All these are wonderful courses and this course of quantitative methods of economic analysis will actually teach you the mathematical side of economics. And if you are enthusiastic about literature, there are a couple of good courses in literature also. Okay? In literature, here? Nobody? And then comes to we come down to the IDC minors. So IDC minor is basically to give a different aspect of design. Basically, it has got a course of animation, visual communication, basic design related issues studying, like this is the first course on introduction to design. What are the efficient methods of designing a specific product or a prototype is what being taught in this course. And then animation is basically something which you are all familiar to us, the three-dimensional animation, how you do it, how you can process such images, and how you can transform your own basic set of scripts to a form of animation is being taught. Okay? And visual communication is again known to you guys, how you basically convert an idea to a form of image or a prototype or a typography. And sound and music design is again a good, wonderful course which will tell you about the music design and sound engineering. Okay, so this course as such is discipline abroad in many of the institutes. If you go to the Berkeley School of Music, they have a variety of courses on sound and audio processing, music design, and all. Okay, so though it's not so common in India as such, music engineering is not so common in India. So this will basically teach you how the basic aspects of music and how to process them in a studio. Okay, how you can process music in a studio using different softwares and all. Okay. By the way, IDC has got a recording studio if you are not familiar with it. It's got a music studio where you can record whatever you want. And yeah, you can record it if you are so enthusiastic of singing, then you can go and record it, get it recorded. Okay. And the other courses that you can take up are given here. Human-computer interaction design. The Pranam Mistry stuff basically is being taught in that course. Okay. The sixth sense technology and that. Yes. Another giant is the mathematics minor. It has we have 5 courses and you just need to do 4. So it will build up. The first course, real analysis, is a compulsory course. It builds up on your Mark 105 course basically. But it is not Mark 105. It's a proof rigorous course at the end of the day. If you cannot write good proofs, better not take it. And it is rigorous and it needs sufficient efforts. It is an 8-credit course. All of these are 8-credit courses. Let me tell you. I think this is being made into a 6-credit course. Okay. Yep. Mechanical engineering minor again is the same set of courses which you guys do as a core course. Basically, it is to see how you make use of machines and to process goods in the machines, and the course ends on a higher note on telling you about manufacturing processes. Okay? How you can manufacture processes on a higher scale, on a large scale basically, and how useful it is to common. Again, the material science minor doesn't run, but it's a quite useful set of courses. And then moving on to management, again, this is where the next fight happens to take a minor. Management minors are in so much demand that everybody wants to do a management minor blindly. Because there is a, I don't know whether it's a conception or a misconception among students that this will help you get into IIMs and all, but I think you should keep these two separate at the end of the day, because this actually gives you a good exposure to the management atmosphere, how you get done with it through the various courses like marketing, how to manage human resources, the basics of accounting and finance. Yes, that's a good course. Financial management, basics of accounting. How you do a project management. Project management is something which we all do in our life. If you have something, some specific task to be completed, how you do it efficiently in a team, and all this is being taught in this course. And similarly, operations management, how you get done with that operations management, and how you do it with the, you have the supply chain management being taught in this course. Yes, physics minor again. So quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, condensed matter physics, the classical mechanics. So the classical mechanics is nothing but your JEE mechanics, but it is on the more mathematical side. Okay, and light matter interactions would involve how, on a quantum mechanical scale, how lights or how electromagnetic waves interact with matter and materials. These three courses, basically quantum mechanics, statistical physics, and condensed matter physics. I think you guys have got a brief exposure to these three in your PH107 course, basically. And these three courses are the extension of the same. You might have learned about the quantum. You have definitely learned about quantum mechanics there. Statistical physics was taught in a smaller scale in this course. The same is extended. And condensed matter physics was the last part of the course dealt with. So your PH107 course has the last part which taught you about conductors, semiconductors, and all those materials. So this course basically moves on to that. Yep, moving on to the last minor, that is statistics and informatics. This is where the next fight happens. Because statistics and informatics is something that is used everywhere. This is basically based upon probability theory. Okay, and how you deal with probabilistic models. Okay, and how you handle probabilistic data. So if you have a, suppose you have a project to handle on probabilistic data, just like I told you in supply chain management, you need to use the knowledge of all these courses to handle probabilistic models again. Yeah, and systems and control minor again. This is quite useful if you are in mechanical engineering or aerospace engineering. So, and how many of you are interested in robotics basically? Anybody robotics? Yes. So this minor is quite useful for those who want to do robotic modeling of systems. So this is a mathematically oriented course, but at the end of the day, it will give you a better understanding of how you can design robotic systems or how you can control flight mechanics. Basically, if you have an unmanned vehicle, like a satellite, this course will basically tell you about how you can mathematically model a satellite launch, how you can determine how the motion would be, and how you can control it. This is a useful course of a very broad perspective at the end of the day. And this has got three compulsory courses, and the rest are electives. And the electives have courses from systems and control, from chemical department and from electrical department. Because chemical department has got a few courses on control theory basically, so you can use those things. And Sitara is not a minor as such, but is it being approved as a minor? Oh. So it is going to be converted. There is going to be okay. It's being launched. Okay, so this is a new minor that is coming up this year, subject to the seat approval. So I think the details regarding this would be launched soon by GPO, by the concerned authorities. Look forward to that. Sitara is actually the useful part of IIT Bombay for rural India, let me tell you. So Sitara basically focuses on how you can develop technologies to help the villages and the rural households to develop in order to help the people there with various types of technologies. Starting from say how you can make pure water, clean water for drinking. Starting from that to how you can provide efficient household and with efficient household are a set of problems that are dealt with in Sitara. So I feel that is a proper set of that's the only proper department IIT Bombay which actually comes down to the application, comes down to using the technology helping out the rural India. And these are details of the new council, and you can feel free to contact them in case you have any queries. And I think this is yeah. So, how you can select the minor is that's something which we will now discuss. I'll not take much time. I know it's getting boring to discuss this course content. It looks like I'm taking a tutorial and let's not talk. Okay, so there are two types of people in the institute. Okay, let me tell you there are two types of people in the institute. One who believe on their own personal choices, and the other who actually have some interest because of which they take a minor. Okay, there are two types of people. One who listen to others and decide upon their minors, and the rest who have their own set of interests to fix upon a minor. So it can be a personal choice. The influence can be seniors, placements, or people whom you come across in the independent portfolio. Okay. So the idea is that we have to look at the truth finally, and let's not fall for the rat race. If my friend does management, I should not be opting for management. You know. So the rat race, you have heard about rat race somewhere? Professor Patak, at least. You know. So he had this saying that, you know, in a rat race there are winner rats and loser rats, but at the end of the day they are all rats. You know, they're all rats. So let's look at the truth and decide upon what you want to do in your life. I think it's high time that you start thinking about your future. Try to start securing it slowly. You know, you build it piece by piece. It doesn't fall down with atmosphere all of a sudden. So you need to build your career piece by piece. Yeah. So, and there are other set of people who come with their own enthusiasm. They decide upon their own set of. So if you are specifically interested in some field of research, or you may not be interested, I don't mind. But if you have a field of research, then please look down upon the field of research. Ask your supervisor or your project guide as to what minor would actually have an overlap with what we are doing. So that you can choose a specific set of minors and continue. Okay? So it is always advised that you choose a minor which benefits you in some way. Either personal, it can be a personal choice, or it can be based on your true research interest or something that you have made up. Okay? So just mind it up now. Okay? So the final word is a bit philosophical. People say I'm good at philosophy, but it's so you have a choice of learning now, right? You have a choice to pick a minor, to pick your own set of additional courses. See, apart from minors, honors, and all these, you can simply take up additional courses. I hope that is known to you, right? You can simply take up additional courses and keep them as additional learning. The tag assigned would be an additional learning course. You can take such a course at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, what I will advise you, it can be an advice, or it can be just a level of philosophy. Whichever way you want, you can take it. But I would advise you that whatever you do, your choice of learning should not be influenced by the monetary aspects at the end of the day. Okay? As just I told you that, if you believe that you are happier doing some specific job, then do that. But at the end of the day, within a few years, as I told you, you will be setting the salary of people around. Cool? Yeah? But at the end of the day, you should be influenced by your own passion. Okay? Let it be influenced by your own passion because you are all special. Okay? We are all special in some sense. We are all special in our interest. We are special as a person. We are special as an entity on earth. Okay? So being that, because we are special, and we are special in every dimension, I think you should make an intelligent choice in your minors. Talk to people who have done the minor courses before. Talk to your senior students who have done the minors, and make a wise decision regarding the minors. But let me tell you, it should be influenced by your true interest. If you do not know, if you are a confused person, then you have a lot of time to find out your true interest. Let me tell you.